Hello and welcome to Instagraphics Now. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to edit the neon text effect using the free Photopea software. If you're using Photoshop, these instructions should be very similar for that software. However, I'm choosing to do this in Photopea since it is free and it's what is most widely available to everyone. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so when you open up the file in Photopea, it will look like this. You get the canvas here that shows the text effect that's ready to be edited, along with options here on the side for the different layers that can be edited. And so to be able to edit this, what you want to do is you want to open up the first drop-down menu on the right. And when you do, one of the options under the text effects layer says change text here. Okay, that's the layer that allows you to make changes to the neon text effect. And so to make the changes, what you want to do is you want to double click on that layer that says change text here. So I'm going to double click on that now. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up a new tab like we see here with the canvas. And so now you can edit this text to whatever you want it to say with whatever font you like, and the file would apply the neon effect to it. So I'm going to show you a few different examples of what that might look like, right? So you're going to double click on that text and it'll highlight it as such. Now that text is selected and I can click in there and either add text or just replace what's there. And just so you see, you can just click on it and you'll see that the cursor is there, right? So I can move the cursor, delete it, and start adding what I want. So let's say, for example, I'm going to type the word awesome. Okay, I can leave it in the font that it's in, or I can select that text box and apply a different font to it. I can do that by using the font selector up here. So if I click on that font selector, and one of the things you may want to be mindful of too is that when you're using Photopea, since it is an online resource, sometimes it may be a little slow just due to the speed at which it's working as it relates to your internet connection, right? But for most household connections, which is what I'm doing on now, a few seconds is probably all it'll take. But you click on the font selector and you can select any font you want. And I'm just going to use some of the pre-built ones in here. Let's see, for example, let's try the one that's called Airstream, right? So we see here that it applied the Airstream effect. And I'm going to make it a little bigger as well. I'm going to go to the size field and make it size 150. And I'm going to move this around so I can click on the move tool over here on the left that looks like the cursor arrow, and I can click and drag this text box, and you'll notice that Photopea provides some markers here to let you know whether or not you're centered. But I'm going to just center it on the page just for this example. So once I've made the changes I want to the text box and I've positioned it the way I want, I still need to save these changes in order for the effect to be applied. So the way to do that is to go up to the left here on the File menu, and you're going to use the option that says Save Smart Object and click on that. And then you'll see that message that says Smart Object Updated. So now when we click back on the initial tab that we opened it up with, we'll see now that the font has had the neon effect applied to it. Now this template you'll see has some additional text on here that's very easy to get rid of, right? If you go back over here to the layers section and you go to this text layer and you hit that drop down menu, these two items under here are how to control whether or not these are displayed. So if you just click on the eye next to each one of those, they disappear. Okay, and then from here, if you want to save this item, you can just go to File and you can go to Export As, and you can export it to whatever format you like. It displays the first most common formats here: PNG, JPEG, PDF, etc. And if you go to the More tab, there are additional file formats you can save it to. Okay, and that is how you edit the neon text effect. If you'd like to purchase this text effect, I really would appreciate it if you use the Etsy link that's in the description for this video. It would really help me out as a seller. Thank you very much. I hope that was helpful. Enjoy and have a blessed day.